Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Pro Wrestling foray into the nature that is the Superstars of Wrestling review series. This one is for the 18th of February, or 18th of March rather, 1995. A couple of weeks in front of WrestleMania. Pretty basic match series here. Not that anybody's going to be surprised by that, but a couple of actually bigger than normal matches. Adam Bomb and Tom Pritchard is up here, and Adam Bomb, they're still trying to push. Not exactly having the best go of it, but they do end up having a pretty good run with Adam Bomb and Tom Pritchard at the time. Bomb able to use his power, Pritchard uses his speed, and more wrestling acumen. Also, you gotta understand uh, at least in part there, you've got Jim Cornette on the outside, and Cornette certainly is willing to take some degree of the heat away from the match a little bit in terms of just kind of being a buffer zone for Pritchard. Of course, the Night Stalker, aka Adam Bomb, who I did not realize was in WCW until doing the WCW 1990 Saturday Night 1990 series. Didn't realize that he was there that early, but anyway, managing a very punch kick style, and Tom Pritchard bumps around for him. You know, tries to work the arm for a couple of minutes. Pritchard can't get any degree of advantage when he uses power, but Jerry Lawler on commentary, pretty well putting over the fact that Tom Pritchard has a lot of guts to get in there in a singles match with one Adam Bomb, which one could easily think because Pritchard, at least for this foray into the WWF, has been known as a tag team wrestler predominantly with heavenly bodies. Pritchard gets backdropped up into the lights quite a bit here, tries to get a cutoff, and tries to get a monkey flip, but there is a block by Adam Bomb. Bomb manages the pump handle power slam, kind of the meltdown thing, and gets a victory in pretty quick order. We then move to the next in series of matches after Jim Cornette is forced to run away, but not before we go into a control room where Diesel promises to beat Shawn Michaels. They were former friends. Vince McMahon and Diesel kind of watching video footage. Diesel jokes about flying planes or landing planes or something. It's just completely utter trash, honestly. The Diesel run by this point had already started to peter out in time for WrestleMania 11, but they get 5 minutes out of this trying to make Diesel look more humane, I guess. Well done, and the Harris twins, aka the uh, Jacob and Eli Blue punch kick with the benefits of Well Done. Well Done probably in one of their last matches. Definitely a one-sided brawl. The match runs 3 minutes 42 seconds and is really no challenge. Maybe one of the Well Done gets a offensive maneuver here and there, but it's certainly a very one-sided affair, to say the very least. Then we move to kind of foraying into things from a very basic perspective, very simplistic punch kick, and ultimately we get, um, kind of some go rounds here. Um, and the Blue Brothers are pretty successful, as it were, getting things going back in their general direction. They get a victory and ultimately kind of squash things out. Speaking of squash out, we're talking about the WrestleMania 11. The WrestleMania 11 report adds more matches to the program, but the majority of the hype is on the celebrities and on the LT and Bam Bam Bigelow match, which ends up being a national flop, even though probably would be considered a singles success for the markets where Lawrence Taylor played primary football. Lex Luger and King Kong Bundy, not quite sure why this is a thing, although they do end up kind of setting Luger up for something to do here. Anyway, Bundy gets a couple of shots in on Luger. Luger ends up getting a big power slam on Bundy in a less than 5 minute match. It's much more basics. Bundy tries to crank down on Luger. Luger getting a victory. Obviously, Luger having history with the $1 Million Man with its Tonka turn from summer '94, but by this point in 1995, I don't think nearly as many people cared about this as the WWF would prefer to have. Then we move to the next in the series of things. Also, the Undertaker's urn had been stolen by Kama and and Bundy and all of that. Anyway, Davey Boy Smith runs off after runs off the $1 Million Corporation after Luger is laid out by Bundy. Post match, Luger has his ribs crushed by King Kong Bundy, a la what they were trying to do with Hulk Hogan back in 1986. Bundy's certainly gone by early 96, so obviously it doesn't work that well. Man Mountain Rock against one of the Phantoms. Man Mountain Rock does get some ride time, but he is one of the, beneficial individuals here. The Phantom is a masked guy. I believe it might even be Glenn Ruth the Headbangers, not really sure. But anyway, tries to take out Man Mountain Rock, doesn't get very far with that. Attempted Irish whips, can get some close around, doesn't get as much as he wants on it, and ultimately takes him down with the Painkiller submission and ultimately gets the victory there. Obviously, the Painkiller from the Max Payne name, and then, of course, an investigation into the whereabouts of Paul Bearer and the stealing of the urns by Nicholas Turturro. Kama is out next. Kama is part of the $1 Million Man's stable here. Kama basically does a very basic punch kick on Leroy Brown, punch kick, and ultimately gets the modified submission, kind of a chinlock chokeout sort of thing. Super basic, and nothing goes very far there. Needless to say, it's a super simple run, and they get things going in a positive direction, as it were. $1 Million Man happy with his investment in Kama. Then they go to the WrestleMania 11 report, adding all the matches to that show, and we then get a quick close. Aldo Montoya against Hakushi the following week on Superstars has been announced. And we'll close on that note. We'll be back with more right after this.